Hi, everybody. I'm going to tell you a story that may upset some people, and that's perfectly fine. I understand that this is YouTube, and this is just kind of what we have to expect at this point. I am a little worried, though, a little concerned with the way YouTube might pick this one up, because it's kind of like one of those taboo ones for some reason. Which I understand why people would feel this way, but this isn't the context for that kind of thing. Anyways, we'll just go ahead and get into this. I've met the KKK twice. I'm going to tell you the story of how I met them and my thoughts on the whole thing. And this is what's probably going to avenge you. Just a FYI, I'm Jewish. Anyways, so allegedly. Um, so this goes back to I think it was ninth grade. I was gonna say 14th grade when I was 14. Ninth grade or it was 10th grade. It was one of the two. So I remember I woke up. I was getting ready for school. I went to the bus stop. I was the only one at the bus stop. I got on the bus. There's only like two other kids. I was just like, oh, that's strange. Like I felt like I was in like lucid dreaming or something. You know what I mean? Like everything just didn't feel like it was real or whatever. And I got to school, and there was like hardly anybody at school that day. So my mind, I was just like, wait, am I being punked? Like, what's going on? Is Ashton Kutcher gonna come around the corner? And I started thinking, like, is this Saturday school? Like, what's happening? Is this a dream? Like, what the fuck? So And as the day goes on, I just notice there's nobody around. So, like, I've said it before, I used to steal apples from other kids during cafeteria. That's how I survived eating growing up. And I was very poor, like, very poor and just had no money and everything like that. So, there was nobody for me to take lunch from. And while I was sitting at lunch by myself, because, like, again, nobody showed up to work, or nobody nobody showed up to school that day. So I was just like, okay. I noticed that there was a news van across the street, and at the news van was a bunch of what I thought at first, which I know very dumb. I was 14. At first, I thought they were a bunch of ghosts, but they were the Ku Klux Klan, and I was just like, "Oh shit, what the fuck?" So apparently, what had happened was, which I don't know how I just let this one go under my radar and I didn't pay attention to it or whatever. Apparently, a black student attacked a white teacher or something like that. I might have the information wrong. If anybody wants to like fact check me on that, feel free. I don't know. I don't care. Never cared enough to look into it. Um, apparently, something like that happened, and I guess like the Black Panthers and the KKK got involved or whatever. And there was rumors that the Black Panthers were going to be in the back of the school, which never happened. And then the KKK was going to bring bombs and shit, which never happened. All they did is just kind of, you know, take an interview across the street. They were at my fucking school, and they kind of like talked and stuff. So that was interesting. Uh, the second time was at a zombie walk we had. Everyone's just dressed up as a zombie. This is in Paris, Texas, North Texas. Everyone's dressed up as a zombie, and they're just kind of like having fun with it because we live in a little religious town, and this kind of stuff. Like we can't even celebrate Halloween. Like we do trunk or treat out there, where you just go to the church and walk around a parking lot and go to everyone's car to go get candy, which I feel is like more dangerous than just going to someone's house, especially since we're like so close to Oklahoma, where everybody gets trafficked. But whatever, I don't know. Not like you can trust the church, anyways, right? Um, And also, like, nobody really celebrated Christmas. It was weird. That town was just like holidays just didn't exist. But the clan were there, and I remember one year I went up to them and I was just talking to them, and they were just like all they fucking did. And here's the thing: every time I tell somebody this story, they get mad at me because they're like, "Oh, why didn't you condone them?" I'm like, because they don't give a shit what I have to say. What the fuck does it matter? The way I see it, they could be an asshole. You don't have to like it, but they have the right to be an asshole. That's what this country is about. Like, you can say whatever the fuck you want as long as you're not hurting somebody. And they weren't hurting anybody. They were just protesting like anybody else that protests. The only difference, the only stigma to it is they're wearing a cloak or cape or whatever, like a fucking spirit Halloween costume. They were basically wearing that. And I don't really fucking care. It has nothing to do with me. I have my other shit I have to worry about. I'm not going to waste my life getting mad at like people hiding behind robes. So They were like protesting the zombie walk or whatever, because it's like not against it's against the Bible, blah, 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 blah. And I remember I said to them, I was like, technically Jesus would have been a zombie, right? He came back from the dead. That's kind of what a zombie is. And this one guy goes, "Man, can you just shut the fuck up?" I was just like, okay. It's funny to me. Uh, I have met some very liberal people in California, and they always tell me stories about the KKK, and I'm like, I've actually met them, and they're like, "Oh no, you didn't." I'm like, "Oh, but I did." And they tell me like, "Oh, they kill people," and I'm like, "Yeah, like 100 years ago. So what? Like that was so long ago. That has nothing to do with anybody that's alive and active today." And I don't really care. Like, was it horrible? Yeah, it was horrible. But what do you want me to do? Condemn somebody's fucking great great grandfather? I don't know this person. I've never met this person. I'm never gonna meet this person. The way I see it, it's like every other race could be racist, but when it comes to like the white people, it's like, oh no, they can't be racist, blah blah blah. It's either all of it's okay or none of it's okay. You can't say like this one's okay, but this one isn't. Just don't be racist. It's that fucking easy. And if you are racist, then fucking own it, I guess. I don't know. Um, the way I see it, everybody's racist to some degree, and I think you're a liar if you think otherwise, because it's the fucking truth. As long as you're not hating somebody for their skin color, that's a different story. But we make like stupid arguments for things all the time. Like you see people saying, "Oh, it's a person of color." Well, okay, well, you're dividing the fucking group right there. Some people want actual segregation again. Like we're going back to that what we originally tried to get away from. And these people are like, "Oh, well, I'm not racist. White people are racist." Okay, then why are you trying to divide everything? It makes no sense. I hate politics. I hate it. And there are some people that will sit here and say, "Oh, you have bad takes on this," and I'm just like, "You're dumb. You're straight up fucking dumb. Jesus Christ." Like I can't imagine how you wake up and like tie your shoes every day and you're this fucking retarded. Like I don't know. I don't care. I thought it was interesting. It's an interesting story for me to tell. There's not much substance to it, of course. I've met them. They weren't like murderous terrorists or whatever. They were just a bunch of assholes wearing a costume, holding a sign, doing an interview, showed up on school property. That's it. There was no lynching. There was no horses. There was no like the stupid, was it the tiki thing where they burned the cross? I don't know what it is. But there was nothing like that. They were just doing what everybody else does in this country, but they were hiding their face, which kind of sounds like Antifa. Just saying. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it kind of sounds like Antifa. If you have to hide what you look like when you do shit like this, you're probably not a good person. That's all I gotta say. But then again, what is a good person? I don't know. This is my story. Take it what you want. I don't really give a shit. I'll see everybody in the next one. Have a good day. Stay safe. Goodbye.